A world champion speaker fell face first into horse manure, and it became the most memorable part of his speech. Now, what he did next is what separates good speakers from unforgettable ones. If you've ever felt disconnected from your audience, this changes everything. Now, picture this. It's a major conference, and they wanted to really keep it exciting. They actually had horses come across on the stage. Well, one of the horses, while going across the stage, had what we will call a little accident. Anyways, they cleaned it up, and 20 minutes later, world champion speaker Darren LaCroix takes to the stage. And the title of his speech was called Fall Forward. And so in an effort to create that action, he literally fell down on his knees and then down on his face. And he actually fell right where the horse had gone to the washroom where they had cleaned it up. Well, he looks up to the audience and he says, "Is this where the horse did his business?" And the crowd went absolutely wild for like 2 minutes. Now, here's the thing that they missed. See, that wasn't just a lucky moment. That was what I consider to be a masterclass in moment hijacking. In just 7 seconds, Darren LaCroix transformed himself from just another speaker speaking for an audience to giving a speech that was just for them. And that is the difference between speakers who get a polite applause at the end of their speech and those who get standing ovations and higher fees and called back time and time again. The secret is, don't just create a speech for your audience, create it with them. Let me give you another personal example. A few years ago, I was doing stand-up comedy, and I was invited to do an amateur set in Toronto. And there were several comedians in the lineup, and I was the only Black comedian in that lineup. And so a female comedian went before me, and she was doing a 5-minute bit on how her parents didn't like her dating Black men. Well, I had an opportunity to read the room, see what was going on, see the reaction. It wasn't in my script. It wasn't in my set. But when I got up, my opening line was, "I'm the guy your mother warned you about." And again, the room went wild. So here's the real moment hijacking formula. I'm going to give you an acronym called REAL. R, read the room, right? Don't pretend that it didn't happen. Ask yourself what just happened and what it is that everybody's talking about. E, embrace the moment. Again, don't ignore it. Don't pretend that it didn't happen. Acknowledge it directly. A, adopt your message to whatever it is that just happened. And then L, launch into your connection that uses that bridge in a way to connect with your audience instantly. Real equals unforgettable speaking. Take advantage of what's happening in that situation. And you're wondering, well, Steve, what if those magic moments don't just happen to come up because somebody said something or because a horse did their business on the stage? Pay attention to what people are complaining about. If you're the speaker in the room that day, no matter how big or small the room is, people are going to be talking about something. They might be talking about how hard it was to find parking. They might be talking about how hard it was to find the washroom, or maybe they couldn't find the space when they came in here, or maybe there was a lip at the door and everybody was tripping over it. Whatever it is, take the time to listen to the room, acknowledge what's going on, and then figure out a way to quickly incorporate maybe 10, 15 seconds or even less into your speech. And as soon as you do that, you're not creating a speech for them, you're creating a speech with them. We'll read the situation and then figure out a way to adapt that into their presentation. As a result of that, they create a connection that lasts. So if you're an entrepreneur or an expert on a specific topic and you want to know that you are actually creating a genuine, deep, authentic connection with your audience, I've created the Speakers Momentum membership platform where you can learn all the tips and tricks of public speaking and actually create a signature speech for yourself that will help you build long-lasting, unforgettable connections with your audience. And so here's your challenge. The next time that you're going to speak live maybe at a networking event, maybe you have a stage presentation, could be in the boardroom or anywhere that you have an opportunity to speak, even on a Zoom, try to recognize what's happening in that moment, something that you can acknowledge in or at the beginning of your presentation so that you can create that instant connection with your room. Remember, don't just create your presentation with your audience. My name's Steve Hopkinson, and until next time, we'll see you on the stage.